Is your knee not paining you? It's time to move on. It's time to what? Move on. Some of you've been praying the same prayer. God, I don't know. God's ears will never close to you, but his ear is paining a little bit.
What are you rushing to? Death.
Ooh.
I'm everyone.
Come on. Your what?
It's all in me. No, what's my first song? What?
Welcome back. Do you know what it is? It's welcome. No, first of all, let's say a little, introduce.
Hi guys, my name's Tom.
Hello everybody, my name's Lizzie.
Right, and this is
welcome back to
the Can We Talk podcast.
Whoa, can we talk? I mean, for you guys, it's not going to feel like we've been away for long.
Yeah, that's true.
But for us, hey.
Yeah, it's been a minute and a journey.
It's been a journey to get here today. We need to be sponsored by private jets because I can't do this anymore.
Yeah,
that's number one. And then number two, quite a lot has happened while we've been away, not while you guys have been away. We both had birthdays.
I am now 21 years old. I'm proud.
Okay. So that's literally today's ep. So we're going to talk about how's everyone doing, first of all? How are you guys doing? How are you doing, Tommy? Let's start with that. How are you doing today? How are you feeling before we get into your new age? Okay.
I would like to say I'm very grateful for life. However, I can't answer that question. I don't know. I don't know how I feel.
Okay.
I'm not sad, but I feel like I'm a bit anxious. I'm a little bit anxious because I feel like I don't really know what's going on in life at the moment.
Fair enough. Okay.
So yeah, that's how I'm feeling. How are you feeling?
How am I feeling? I'm living life on the opposites of how I feel. Only in negatives though. Every negative emotion I feel, I'm choosing to be positive.
Okay.
So like you saw earlier, I was very, very stressed, frustrated and annoyed. But what did I choose to do? I chose to smile.
Yeah, she was smiling.
I smiled at people on the train who didn't look at me twice. Fair enough, because I don't look at people either. But yeah, so I'm choosing to say I'm feeling good.
Good.
Yeah. I felt better. I've also felt worse, but I feel good right now. And I'm excited to actually be here.
The only way is up.
The only way's up. The only way's up. So you had a birthday. I'm not going to say when, because like I said, by the time this is released, it's going to feel like 7 years ago. Yeah. So we recently had a birthday and we recently both turned new ages. Do you care to disclose your actual age or are you actually 21?
25.
Okay, 25. Okay. Okay. So I feel like the years we've turned particularly should be discussed because I just feel like we are both also Tommy is my senior, please. I'm a young girl. Just in case anybody thinks we're the same age.
She must be 21
I'm a young girl. And so I feel like the ages that we've turned... I'm not scared to say my age. I turned 27.
Well, how does that work if I'm 25?
Exactly. Deduct how old you think Tommy is from that. And I just feel like we are both in a space where everything is up for grabs. And I feel like... I want to say, not I've struggled to accept what this year looks like, but I think I have in terms of like, when you turn a new age and you just think you have goals and aspirations for your life, whatever. But with every birthday, everybody likes to reflect and think about, okay, cool. These are the things I want to achieve. These are the things I want to put into place. But I just feel like we live, and we spoke about this on a previous episode, where I don't feel like there's anything set that my age should be doing. That has passed.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's 27-year-olds should be doing this by now. 28-year-olds. I don't feel like that. So now it kind of leaves me in a balance of like, so what should my goals be? Because some of my friends, and rightfully so, are, married, they're getting married or they're having children or they're moving countries. They're doing big, big, amazing things. And then some are just like, sis, omo, mutijapa, which means I've just quit my job and I don't really know what I'm doing. Love that. Facts. And then I have other friends who are like, Lizzie, I'll be real. I'm doing a career change. I was doing this and now I'm doing this. And I'm thinking, I love all these things. So
Yeah.
now when I think about, okay, cool, what should my year look like? I don't really know. Like, obviously, I'm allowing God, obviously, to navigate what my year is going to look like. But I just feel a bit up in the air when it comes to, like, what should my 27 look like? Because I've seen millions of 27s and 28s and whatever. I'm looking, 30, even 30, I'm looking, I'm still far from it, but some people are closer. I don't know. Some people are closer. But I just think this year just looks so, and then like I've got friends who wake up, oh, I'm going to do this job, and they're going to the gym and they're going to just doing things. And I'm thinking, where do I really fit in all of this thing called life? Like, I want a break of being an age.
Oh, you want to break?
No, I want a break. Can you stop for like maybe 6 months? You know, when I don't want to be any age. I just want to be alive. I don't want responsibilities.
Well, to be honest, age is a social construct.
And that's also.
So really, maybe you're like 46.
Okay, no, that's. What? That's not where I thought you were going with that. I thought you meant age is a social construct in the sense that your age doesn't guarantee anything.
No.
Because we're meeting, sorry men, there's no need for this unprovoked attack, but we're meeting men who are somewhat supposed to be older, but you're sensibles, because we're sensible. So age is a construct. Age is a construct.
No, I think I definitely agree. Yeah. I think, obviously, as a woman and also a firstborn Yoruba/Jamaican girl, I feel like the pressure... I wouldn't say pressure because I'm quite grateful. My parents don't put pressure on me, although recently my mum has started hinting that she wants grandchildren, and I don't know where that's...
We don't know where we're going to get that from.
But God's grace, it will happen in the right time. But I think, for me, there were loads of things that... I think I expected to have happened by now.
Okay.
And I even remember I so vividly remember going to a wedding and the bride was 27. And I said, God forbid I'm not married before 27.
Oh, this was before? Okay, thank you.
We have very much past 27.
Okay, thank you.
We are leaving our 20s, and marriage, I wouldn't say is looking... Well,
no, marriage.
We just can't see it right now,
which is okay.
But that's not to say that it won't happen soon.
Yeah.
But I just think in everything, like my finances, in everything, I just thought I'd be in such a different place. Fair. And I believe an element of that is like poor planning, I would say. I think I haven't always been the best with my finances, and it means that I'm not in the position that I'd like to be in. But I think also we put pressure on ourselves and think that, by 30 I'm going to do this, or by this I'm going to do that, when the reality is that no one obviously likes to be like the norm or average. But the reality is, how many people in this UK actually own their homes? Let's start with that. And also the people that are having kids, it's great, beautiful. I had like 6 people have kids this month.
To God be praised.
But also when I think about that, they're also an anomaly. Like I saw some research the other day that was saying like UK's, even though it said fertility, but everyone was we're not having as many children anymore. So even though like in my small circles it may look like everybody is achieving these things, I don't think that that's necessarily the case. Does it mean that I don't want those things? No, but I think it's a mindset shift that you have to have.
Absolutely.
And I think also it's one thing I'm learning is being in line with God's timing and God's will, because
but then also I feel like we have to clarify when we say, be in line with God's will and God's timing, it's almost like that saying of it is well. We're not saying it as it's simple, it's easy, it's fun. It isn't, because obviously waiting is not fun. The expectation of God's will. Yes, thankfully the Bible says that I know I have a plan for you, for good, for evil, to give you a bright
not
future.
For evil, please. All of them is
yes, not for evil. Oh. Don't be silly. It mean more Bible. Thank you. I'm joking. But yeah, like God's, promise is for good. So no matter what, I know that whatever God has for me is good. However, even in knowing that, I feel like it's still tough, because it's like, yes, you are seeing people celebrate, or you are seeing, and like you said, I think perspective is key, because on the grand scheme of things, a lot of things aren't actually happening. But when we kind of only narrow our mindsets or narrow our view to only look at what we want, of course it's going to look like everyone's doing it. But because you've narrowed your vision, you know, your tunnel vision to the fact that everyone's getting married, everyone's having children, that's all you're going to see. It's like social media, you know, that scary thing on internet, you say something, you start seeing it, you know, it's that sort of mentality. If you keep focusing on one specific area or aspect of your life, 9 times out of 10, that thing is going to depress you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What you're praying for will depress you if you're not careful, because you're focused on that only. But then I also wanted to kind of like discuss like, what are some of the lessons that you learned in your last year? So for me, that would have been anybody that's 26 and below. For Tommy, that's anybody that's young. Anybody
under 30.
Anybody that's under 30.
That could be 15.
That could be 12. That could be, how old are you, 21? That could be 20.
Yeah.
But yeah, just some of the things that I feel like maybe you feel like in recent times okay, cool, this is something I don't want to do this year, or things that, okay, I want to keep doing that. Just lessons you've kind of learned in your 20s, let's just say it like that.
Okay, do you know what? I've been given permission to speak about this. Because do you know what? The most recent lesson I have learned is, oh my goodness, put yourself first. And when I say put yourself first, I don't mean like be a horrible, selfish person, but value you, because you will waste so many years on things.
That's good.
You'll waste so many years on things, chasing things that all end up to zero. And I think also, like, when it pertains to like relationships as well, I think sometimes men and women will say things which could make you, for example, be in a situation, and you might say in a situation, but this situation is not giving you what you're looking for or what you want. I think in what I have learned for myself is, before I would be like, oh no, but I like him. Now it's like, no, what do I want for myself? If this isn't what I want, you need to get out the door. Also, take it easy on yourself as well, and be nicer and kinder, because it's another thing that happened to me recently. So I went on holiday for my birthday, and I went on holiday with someone that I haven't necessarily spent a lot of time one-on-one with. Yeah. And she made me realize how negative I can be. And at the time, I was a bit like, why is she saying this? Yeah. But I felt very quickly that actually it's true. Like, if for someone to put, and out of love, someone to pull you up on this, there must be an issue here. Yes. So I feel like if I was nicer to myself all of these years, maybe I would have been further, because I wouldn't have been sitting down doing woe is me. And also, the last thing I think, which I've been saying to myself recently, is with goals and any plans that you have, the most important thing is to like break them down. So I think before I would be someone like, yeah, I'm going to be a millionaire next week, but I will do nothing towards that. Facts. But even like just, it's little things, like if you want to be self-disciplined, how are we going to be self-disciplined? For example, this is really stupid, but like sometimes when I need to wee, I can't be bothered to go to wee, so I will just hold it forever. Crazy.
And I know you're not the only person that do that.
Honestly. And then I feel like God's saying, this is it though. Like this is what I mean. Like, if you can't have self-discipline in the tiniest things, like you said you're going to stop holding your wee, stop holding it, then babe, how are we going to go past here? So I think, you know what I say is, put yourself first. But take it easy on yourself. Yeah. And break every goal down into tiny little steps. Because, darling, what did I see today? What's her name? What's the one with her, Gabrielle Union? She said it. What are you rushing to? Death. Ooh. Like, where are you actually running to?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
that's
she said, do you think they're going to celebrate when you're in your grave?
Where are you rushing to? Death.
Yeah. She said, stop saying I'm going to do this in my 30s. I need to do this. I need to do this by then, because, babe, slow down. It's actually okay.
What? Sorry.
Profound, right?
Oh, what? Profound. I hate that word so much. Can we talk?
Yeah, I think we can.
That's actually, because I've never seen that perspective. Like, it's true. Like, we're chasing so much. Yeah. And at the end of that line, it's your grave.
You have to enjoy life. I think that's what I've realised. You actually have to love life. And even in the times where it doesn't feel like what you want. Because when I look back, I think to myself, for example, I'm not going to say that, but I feel like I spent a lot of time doing things which, when I look back now, like I said, did not amount to anything.
Yeah.
So I think, had I been more positive, had I maybe made better decisions, would I be a happier person now? Probably. I think something that I do a lot is I dwell on the past. I dwell on what's gone wrong. But if you could just actually live in the moment, enjoy what you're doing now. Yeah. You might not be a millionaire, but do you have friends that love you? Go and spend time with the friends that love you. Like, do whatever you can in your situation.
Yeah.
Rather than look back like me sometimes and think, oh God, when I was 21, I should have been doing backflips in Libertine, but I wasn't. I should have been in Christ, actually.
That's what you should have been. You should have been your Lord and Savior.
Yeah, no.
No, I like that. And I think something that's just stood out to me is I love, like, Tommy, obviously, not to make it sound harsher, but, you know, we tell our friends the truth. Tommy does really reflect, let me use nice English, reflects a lot in the past. And I think something that you are trying to do is like, yeah, like, that's happened. What can I do with whatever's now? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I think we also have to remember, in as much as we regret certain things in our lives or we've done things that we're not proud of, I always remind myself, those things got me here. And if those things never happened, I wouldn't be here. So, and it's not to, you know, now go and be doing stupidness just because you're going to be
all
okay
again.
tomorrow. Yeah, do it all again. I wouldn't. But it's like, those things built you to whoever you are today. So like you said, the people that love you today, you had to go through all of that. Otherwise, they wouldn't love this version of Tommy today. Yeah. So I think it's almost appreciate whatever you've been through. Like, there's no point dwelling on the past. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't do anything. And like, not even Gabrielle said, but like we know, life moves on. You're getting older. You are closer to the end than you are to the beginning. So it's like, why dwell on what I have no control over, I can't do anything about? And then I guess it's that saying of whatever we do today affects what you do tomorrow. So if I'm still dwelling on 2015, my 2025 is going to look like 2010, you know, because I'm still focusing on that. So even though I'm moving forward, I'm still moving forward in the past. Oh, do you know what I mean? Oh, that's so good. I said 2050. I'm going to say 2020.
That's poetic.
But that's poetic, you know. Like, you would think you're moving forward. But if I'm dwelling on 2015, I'm going to move forward to 2020. And I think I've moved, but you haven't, because we're in 2025 now. So it's like, that just doesn't help. Anything that's happened has happened. Jesus died for it. You don't need to, he's paid that price. So you ain't going to worry about it, sweetheart.
And the thing is, I think a lot of the mistakes I did make, had I not made those mistakes, maybe I'd have made them later on in life.
Or even more catastrophically in a different way.
Yeah, because I think, for example, staying in situations which may not have benefited either party, I might have done that at 30.
Stop using parables.
We're not.
No, I'm not saying and explain anything. But
I will get there. Just
because I'm saying, I know people are going to, don't worry, me too.
Third episode
saying, I know, that's, I planned this. I was like, when are we going to drop that episode?
But on a serious note, like, whoever's watching this, to someone that needs to leave that man, boy.
There we go. So I'm saying, sorry, I meant like,
I'm not saying that.
No. I'm saying, say the situation as in a relationship, because you're saying the word situation. But I know some people are going to think, what kind of situation? So you're talking about relationship situation. Right. Sorry, is what I meant. Clarify.
Relationships.
Yeah. So if you're in a relationship, for example, and it doesn't serve both parties.
So I think it's different things, but I think, yeah, definitely romantic relationships. I think, especially if you're a lover girl like me.
Yuck.
Who can love.
Hey. If only she loves.
I was gonna say, if love was a word, I would be. But I realized my name is Love.
It is. That's why they name you Love. It's prophetic.
Because the way I can love.
Yeah.
Oh, it's scary. And I think because of that, it does blur situations for me. So if I could go back, I definitely think I would think, what is it, with the blinkers on, without the blinkers on?
I don't know English. Sorry. Sorry, I'm not British enough for all of them. Blinkers. What's a blinker? I'm joking. I don't have a clue, mate.
With the blinkers?
I don't know.
Blinkers on.
Yeah.
Anyway. Sorry, what was I even saying?
Some people have misdiagnosed, undiagnosed. Anyway,
what was I saying?
What were you saying? if you could go back again, you would love something about love. You were
No,
loving.
but why did I say that?
I don't know. That's your.
There's a reason I said this.
Oh, so if you could go back again, you wouldn't love, because you're a lover girl. It's gone. Fair enough.
Sorry, but like I said, leave that man.
No, but I think, no, but I was just saying, yeah, clarify, because I think if you're saying the word situation, people don't
Oh,
know.
yeah. No, so yeah, I think, no, but not just relationships, but I do feel like even now, if you're in a situation that doesn't serve you, I feel like it's easy to stay in it, especially if you're in love, but then I think you need to have foresight and realize that, is this going to serve me in 5 years? And like you said, if you're constantly in a cycle that never, ever, ever ends, like Lizzie said, do you want to be in 2015, in 2025, when everyone is moving on and everyone is getting married, and the same people that you met together, they've married and had their kids, and where are you now? Answer that for yourself.
That's in relationship matter. That do apply to other areas as well. I think careers as well.
No,
if you're still in the same role, and not to say that you're not working, because working is even a privilege and an honor these days. Of course. But if you know, like, it's true, for the past 10 years, I've still been at the same level. And people are your friends, and not in a comparison way, but in an encouraging way. Your friends are also doing well, because what's to stop you from doing well? You need to reflect, like, exactly, am I doing all that I can be? Am I in the right place? Is this a place that nurtures growth? Because some of y'all in jobs that is not nurturing your growth. No matter how amazing you are, your light ain't gonna shine there, because there's no space for it to shine. So I think in every aspect of your life, you need, we all need to sit down and be thinking, like, yes, is where I'm currently at serving purpose? And if it's not, what are we doing about it? Because there's no point knowing a thing and doing nothing, or saying, this job, I hate this job, my manager wants me dead. Listen, your manager will want you dead for the next 20 years. You need to go to where your manager wants you alive.
No, honestly.
You need to go where they want to see you win. Not when you die, they're going to put your job on LinkedIn tomorrow. Because some of you, that's the truth. Your job is even currently on LinkedIn and you're alive.
Be, if anyone needed a sign to leave their job, let that be your sign.
Let that be your sign, my sister. They're even writing it. They're just waiting for your next review. Your job is on LinkedIn. What? See, send it. That's the only thing. That means press send. It's on LinkedIn. What do you mean? Don't come and die for a job, my dear. That's not to say be stupid and leave your job anyhow, but get out. Because what? You need to, honestly, and I think that's what this year also is doing for me. It's like, why delay the inevitable? What you want to do, why not do it now?
Lizzie, you're dropping bombs
today. It's a new wisdom of age. I don't know.
Wow.
It's a wisdom of age and Jesus. That's what it is. I don't know. But it's like, and that's what I'm coming to realization. It's just like, why delay what I could have done? Even though I want to do it in 5 years, do it now.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I did that. I think a good example for me was my church. Obviously, I'm not going to name any names. You can know my church now, though. If you want to know, DM me. When I was...
She's talking to the Ghanaian boys.
I'm going to... When... I remember like praying about it and asking God, like, Lord, what's the next season for my life and whatever. And, that scripture of come out of your father's house. And I remember thinking, I don't want to go too far into it. I said, I don't live in my earthly father's house, but that's okay. That's not where I'm going. Anyway, I was thinking that doesn't really apply to me, because I'm not really in that place.
Well,
anyway,
Lizzie's dad didn't leave for milk.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, so, and I was thinking, okay, cool. I knew I wanted to leave. That's it. I had an inkling. I wanted to leave the church. But I thought, nah, that whole, like, you don't just leave for leaving's sake, or you don't just leave because you're upset. You don't leave in all these things. And I had those feelings. I knew maybe now's not the time. But I knew one day, I know this is not my forever home. Yeah. I know that this is not where I'm going to raise my kids, all of that kind of stuff. And that took an additional 4 years.
Wow.
4 years. And do you know what? To God be praised. He's so kind and faithful that he made it work for my good, that I feel like I ended up leaving just before it became delayed.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So before I had to, let's say, spend another 10 years, of the loss. No, he kind of did it like, you know what? At the last, maybe I had like maybe 5 more days. I made it to like, do you know what? I will still help you. And I remember thinking in that time, and even up until now, like, why did I delay the inevitable? Like I said, I knew I was going. You were gonna leave, but the why delay it an extra years? Because we know where this is going to end up. And I think some of us were doing that in our lives. We know this job. We know this man, woman. We know this friend. We know this thing. Like, this is not good. It's not serving me. It's not doing what it needs to do. But we'll see. We'll wait. We'll still pray. Some of you, prayers even. Hey,
don't let my pastor come and find you. You're still praying.
Some of you, you've been kneeling for the past 10 years. Is your knee not paining you? It's time to move on. It's time to what? Move on. Some of you've been praying the same prayer. God, I don't know. God's ears will never close to you, but his ear is paining a little bit. Oh my God. Because you've been saying the same thing for years. And I've told you the answer. 9 times out of 10, God has told you what to do.
You just don't want
to do it out of fear, out of you're not ready for what it looks like on the other side, which is also true.
And even in that, like, I think where I am right now is a perfect example of that, because I felt led to leave my job. And I don't know how November bills are getting paid. But hopefully, by God's grace, we'll come back in November and I'll tell you how they come.
Absolutely. By the time this comes out, there'll be testimony attached to the next video.
Because I don't know how any of these things are going to be. And I feel like I did really want to delay it. But I've seen where I have delayed God's instruction, and I've seen the outcome of that. So with this, it was very much like, just do, and then we'll figure it out after. And I think that is the God that we serve. Yeah. He's not a God that necessarily gives you a manual. He ain't going to say, okay, you do this, and then this is going to happen. Yeah. And I think that's what faith, I guess, is all about. Trusting his word. He will come through.
Yeah, like, trust his word. You know, the Bible says that my word will not return to me void. If I've sent it, it's going to accomplish what it is I have sent it to do. And so that looks hard, though, because a real life example is leaving and not knowing where tomorrow is going to be. And I think we see that obviously in scripture. We see that with Abraham. Literally, he told him, leave to a land I will show you. He didn't tell him. Imagine, you know, like I said today, someone said leave. And if I told me, come meet me, your next response will be, where?
Yeah.
Come meet me.
Just come.
You will keep saying where. Yeah. Like, you're not going to leave your house till I respond, right? And that's what a lot of us are in. Wow, this talking
today. Are you okay today, Lizzie?
I don't know. But some of us, that's it. I've told you come, but because you're still waiting for the response of where, you haven't moved.
Hey!
You've now asked God,
you didn't do anything. What to do.
You've not spoken. I've not heard God speak in 10 years. Wow. Ha! Oluwa, get me my stage on my mic. I'm joking. I don't want it. Please, for anyone comes to me, I'm not that kind of person. Don't tell my pastor, please. Let my pastor be pastoring me. Thank you. But I think that's you know, I think that's what really, that's what faith looks like. It's like being uncomfortable in the unknown, but doing it anyway. And that's what that's probably one of my lessons that I'm trying to learn this year. Like, I don't have to have it all figured out. I don't have to know what, like I said, my 27th year looks like. That's okay. So that's what I had to do. I had to say to God, you know what? I'm going to leave this year to you. And I've never done that. I've really kind of like, I've left it to God, like on my daily aspect. But in terms of like defining this year, you know, when people are like, I have my word. I said, I'm leaving that all to you. Whatever, your word can change for me in December. That's fine. You told me to do this, that's fine. You told me stop doing that, that's fine. And I'm saying it with a lot of fear. I'm not crazy, because like I said, if God tells me stop this or stop that, I don't know, what am I going to eat? Do you know what I mean? But that's the truth, you know, and I think that's what I want the rest of my life to kind of look like. It's just like, be okay with change. I think that's a big lesson I'm learning this year. Be okay with change, because change is inevitable. Yeah. That's the only constant thing. Change is constant.
Facts.
That's never going to change.
Change ain't
changing.
Hey! I'm screaming.
Change isn't changing.
That's true.
And it's like, I might as well get comfortable with it, because that's not going anywhere. Everything else is. Fear will go. Boldness may come and go. Change, that ain't going anywhere. And I think I'm leaning into being okay with, like, it doesn't go to plan. That's okay.
And that's the thing. I think the most important thing that I've learned is most things don't go to plan. And
what's that saying? We make plans, God laughs.
Man proposes, God disposes.
That's another one. That's also a power one. This one. We make plans. No, if you want to tell God a joke, no. If you want God to laugh, tell him your plan.
Tell him your plan. Yeah.
Because honestly, tell him. Chuckle. Giggle.
Because honestly, Lizzie, I thought I was gonna be a mother of 3, married.
No, I guess most females, unfortunately, is always us. By 23, we were saying...
Okay.
No, but people were, not me though, but people were saying by 23,
I said
I'm
25.
gonna... See, even... And the thing is, I feel like maybe only as you pass those ages, you see how young those ages are.
25.
That's what I'm learning.
That's a kid.
And obviously mothers that are 25, toilet, of the power, because you're doing it.
Wow.
But I think, or even mothers at 20, because I've got a friend who got married at 22. And in retrospect, I did look at her every time and I think,
Would if you had the opportunity, do you think you would have got married at 22?
No, because I would have been divorced by 25. And that's me being very honest.
Why?
I was not ready to be... I would have entered that marriage with the independent spirit that would have made my husband push my husband away.
Yeah, okay, no, that's fair.
I think I would have...
That's fair.
He would have struggled very much. We would have had a decent marriage. I'm not saying like we wouldn't have had conflict, but I think because for what I understand marriage to be, everything comes out.
Yeah.
And I think too much would have come out that I would have thought, this is not consolable, let's part ways. So it wouldn't have been like... we would have been great, but I think the too much of the problems that I didn't deal with at that age would have come up and it would have killed us. Because I would have thought,
thank you.
like, you can't deal with me and I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah.
And because I wouldn't have had support, I wouldn't have right mentor because I hadn't joined my church yet. So I wouldn't have had the counsel that was necessary. I would have been very much a child in, a baby in the deep end. I would have drowned. It would have drowned me.
That's so profound.
I know, like, it would have really drowned me. So I would have been married 100%, but I'd be divorced by 25. And I would have not fought for it. I've come from a home where you don't fight for things. Someone wants to go, you let them go. Or if it's no longer serving purpose in the way I thought marriage would have, you're going to let this man go. And kids or not.
Okay.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I was never for the kids, I must stay. For the kids, I'm going to go. Like, I've never been the opposite. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, most women are, for the kids, I'll stay. I've always been, weirdly enough, I'm the opposite. For my kids, I'm going to leave.
That makes sense.
Because I just think, maybe because of what I've been through, I just think, why would I want my kids in this?
To have to deal with that.
But I get the whole, support husband, wife, but also if mum and dad are not mentally stable, you're suffering the kids more. And I know a lot of mothers know that now than then. Do you know what I mean? They come out and think, do you know what I mean? What is better? A healthy mummy is better than a present mummy. Do you know what I mean? A healthy dad is better than a present dad because as we know, there are so many present dads who do nothing.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter if the figure is there, but if we're not mentally, spiritually, emotionally available, we're all kidding ourselves. And I think for me, had I been married at 22, I had a kid as well. Oh, disaster.
Malachi, come here.
That's not my son's name. You know my son's names are ridiculous.
Lion or whatever his name is.
I mean, he's no longer called Lion because someone stole that.
Okay.
But yeah,
Legend. Sorry.
Legend. If I had twins, Legend and Lion, but it's all right.
Are you?
I'm
for
not
real?
doing that. No, I told you, my kids, they're
You're
prophetic.
You're going to call 2 Nigerian children Lion and Legend.
Yeah, and the thing is, that's why I don't want to, because I can imagine a Nigerian saying that, Legend. Don't butcher my son's name.
Lion.
I like Lion in Yoruba, though. Ekun. Ah.
Okay,
Sorry,
thank you.
Oh, chills. Chills. Yoruba is so Ekun. Oh, damn. I have to call my husband there.
Okay, you can call your husband that, but his name is definitely going to be Kwame.
It's not going to be that. Thank you. Okay. But I...
Nothing.
But you, what about you? I think for who you were with...
Okay. Let me answer
I'm just
this.
going to say, guys, like I said, we'll do a real relationship.
I was in a relationship at the age of 22.
Did it start at 22?
No, I wasn't. Was I in a relationship at 22? What year was 22? No,
do you want to show
I
your
wasn't.
age?
We weren't together, but it was very on and off.
Yes.
And I would say
So I think you have 2 questions though. Mm-hmm. If you were married at that age, but also if you were married to that person.
So married at that age would have been catastrophic anyway.
Okay.
Just because I think I did not know myself. I'm still learning about myself now. I feel like there probably has been a lot of things that have happened after that have required healing.
Yes.
But I do feel like at that time there probably was still space for healing. It may not have been as much as now, but there was definitely healing to be done. And I don't think I loved myself enough or knew what I wanted. In fact, actually, do you know what? 22, I wouldn't say, it may not have necessarily been catastrophic, but I didn't know myself well enough. And I think for the person that I was on and off with, I think for the two of us, it just wouldn't have made sense. I think we were not in the greatest spaces for both of us.
To be married.
And I think both of us have grown since then.
Of course.
And obviously gone our separate ways and realised, you know what, okay, fair. It wasn't meant to be, but back then I know we would have fought for that. We would have, unlike you, we would have fought for that marriage. We would argue, but we would have fought.
Because I think because there's people that would have been like that in terms of you are in a relationship, the person actually isn't bad. I remember we discussed this, like they're not a bad person. Yeah. And if I married you, there's a reason I married you. Yeah. So there's people like you who would have, exactly, I'm going to fight for this because it's like, I love you enough to have married you.
But we're fighting for, I don't know.
But we're I don't, and that's another thing. I think, like I said, I'm a fight or flight babe. I mean, I'm always going to put it out. Whereas I think you would have been we're always fighting. Because we fought for it, but this fight ain't stopping. As in, it will stop, but then it's like, we'll be back here again. And I'm the type that, more first fights, I'm not doing it again. I tap out.
And that's the thing for me, I would have definitely been, oh no, I love him.
Yeah,
come on, we can do this. And in that sense, I feel like he's very much a lover boy as well. Of course. So he would have fought.
Exactly. It's like, babe, come on, we got married, like, you're my wife, you
know? And
like,
it could be
I love you,
fire.
That's the thing. And then, do you know what it is? I think it's that whole, the good times were so good
that you wouldn't want.
Come on, surely we'll get back to that. And it's true,
and you would.
Back here again.
But we fight.
I can't fight again. I can't always. I think now though, 100% I would fight. Oh,
but you know,
I'm different now.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't love easily in terms of romantic love. So I know if I loved you in that regard, I've given everything. Like that's me at my most vulnerable. I'm gonna fight to not lose that. Yeah. Because there would have been something in you. Yeah. That has made me comfortable, safe. Mentally, emotionally, all of that, of course, for me to do that. So 100% today, we're gonna fight, but not fight as in we'll be fighting each other, love. But like it's
no, please,
yeah, not no fight like no, we don't do DV. No, say no to DV.
So if you have anybody,
but if you have any, please, hello, call me. I'm gonna pack your bag for you. I'm not even joking. I'll come and pack your bag. But no, I mean like we won't give up on.
Who are you?
I'm me. What do you call this? I was gonna say Salvation Army rep, but I don't think that's what I'm trying to do. But I mean,
thank you.
Yeah. But I think in the young years that I've been alive, I definitely believe that I would fight for my marriage in a generation that no longer fights for marriage. Lord, you're really doing it, and I'm not mad. This generation doesn't fight. You know, we give up easy.
Why do you think that is?
I think because of what we see. I think, not to misquote what you said earlier, but when you have that mentality of, I gotta put me first, in a very, but you did clarify, in a selfish, in a very me-only way, bro, anything that fights that, you leave, because you think, surely, if it's coming against me, I'm not going to fight for it. So I think this generation, we have a very selfish mentality, I would say. On a whole, not as in people as, as a whole.
And just to clarify, with the whole putting you first thing, I think that's more in a situation where, I don't think put yourself first in terms of not be selfless. And
but I think you did clarify it. Okay, I meant in the sense that, that's what I'm saying, you did clarify. I think put you first when you've forgotten you.
Yeah. You're not doing you again, you're serving everyone else. Yeah.
In serving. Yeah. Man, girl, food, friends, food, family, you've lost yourself. You got to remember you are still a creation. God took his time to make you.
Oh yes, he did. Period. Okay, it's a whole lot of years God took to make me.
I'm so scared. I'm so scared. But yeah, in that regard, you can't forget.
Yeah.
I spent time making you, as God. Like, don't forget you.
Yeah.
And also know you. So I think there's a part of putting you first is knowing yourself first. Because if you don't know yourself first, you can't know anyone else.
Ooh.
And that's the problem.
Saucy.
Saucy, sexy. Now you made me forget what I was saying. What was I saying?
Kafra.
And that's in the play that I'm in. That's so funny. Someone says Kafra to me, and I'm actually Ghanaian. What was I saying? You can't self-love. Put you first. Oh, yeah, why don't we fight for the marriage? Yeah. And I think another reason, I think it's so easy to kind of like not fight for anything that's too hard. Anything that gets hard, we give up. I think it's very easy to be like, I can't lie, does it? And this is where our parents win in terms of you people are very very British,
lazy,
very lazy.
Yeah.
You people don't. There's no hard. But the thing is, I feel like there's two sides to that coin because I don't want to suffer either. Respectfully, love you, mum, but not just my mum. I'm saying mums in general. But like, we don't want to go through hardship. But at the same time, I think we've taken it too far. I don't want to go through anything now. And if I go through anything, this either must be the devil or this must be I've married wrong. Do you know what I mean? So we like, let's leave.
Ooh.
Do you know what I mean? And I think also, we are also not we're a microwave generation. We don't want to wait for it to get better.
We want it now.
We want it now. So if it's not perfect from the get-go, I don't really want to wait till it is.
And I think that's actually quite important because I think sometimes like even in like dating, like sometimes you might meet someone and he's not necessarily where he needs to be now, and I'm not even just talking
and girls
and women, but do you feel like men are more lenient though
in terms of what? So they would, yes, but that's because that's a misogynistic mindset. I think that men are more lenient. They don't expect us to be great, quote unquote. Not in a like they don't think women should do stuff, but the expectation of a woman is much
lower,
less.
Yeah.
So I think they're more lenient because we don't really need to do that much in their eyes. Whereas with us, if he's not this, 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 while dating him, I'm not interested.
Thank you.
Not me. I want girls.
The girls.
All you ladies, I know what you like though. I know what you like though. You like all the rich ballers.
The cash.
All the cash money.
The ballers.
So I think, so like women tend to want more of a finished product than men want in women. That's not to say the men are now screaming, what does she bring to the table? Ma, get the heck. What do you bring, fam? You're asking what do women bring to the table. What do you bring to the table? Have you seen your hairline? Nonsense.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Have you seen the way you look? And you're coming for ladies. I beg. Free yourself. I was going to say something even crazy, but we're not going to say it. Yeah, all that to say, I do think the standards are different.
I think, personally...
What do you think?
I think personally... No, I agree. I think when it comes... Not just even marriage, because when you were speaking, I was even thinking about, like, my content journey. And I think, do you know what's so funny? Yeah, if our parents decided to start doing content, I promise they'll all blow, because for them they no, do you know why? Because even for me, sometimes I sit down and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like, there's no such thing as that in their world. Until you get there. We're not stopping.
Because there's something...
Come rain or shine.
We need to do what we need to do.
We got to feed their kids.
Yes.
And I think because we don't have kids, well, not all of us are necessarily homeowners yet. A lot of these things are like my dad always says it, and it used to annoy me, but I think he does have a point. Like, you have no responsibilities. That's why you can just be chopping and changing anyhow.
Absolutely.
Like, I think we just don't have that staying factor anymore. We don't want to stay in anything. We don't want to stay in
anything that's too, and also not seen as glamorous. If it's not seen like, because obviously I can't lie, one thing I'm gonna give somewhat influencers or whatever, they're working every day to consistently be what they're doing. They eat facts, because bills are not guaranteed. But I think on the flip side of that, because it does look so glamorous, the struggle isn't as whereas everyone else that's not doing as glamorous quote unquote jobs or things nah, mate. So I don't even want to do that. Do you know what I mean? Because it isn't glamorous.
Yeah.
Because it isn't like, oh, I'm not flying. I'm not getting flued out. Like, people can work hard, because I know some people will say like, but I work hard to enjoy, and rightfully so, because you get to enjoy. There are some people that don't, because there's no enjoyment in that thing. It's just responsibilities. It's just my bills. So I don't want to do this. Like, this is not fun. And then we are very encouraged to be like, to be free. I mean, we were saying it, do whatever you want. And this generation does encourage that. Whereas, like we were saying, our parents' generation, whatever you start,
you must finish
you must
it.
what? You must get to the end. You must.
And you won't get a B.
And
it's a star.
You must not only get to the end. Exactly. You must outshine the people
Everyone.
that are already there. And then you must even now do pass.
With every neurodivergent thing that you have, with everything
that you could have, you must exceed. Exactly. And, God forbid not even God forbid, if you have any sort of disability or whatever, you must now show them that even with that disability, you will do more. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, even use what you don't have, like whatever makes you, I even think it, because I think a lot of disabled people are even greater than abled people. But I know, even coming from an African background, they will see that disability. You think that's going to stop you? That ain't stopping you.
And you know what? My dad always says,
that,
I'm on two sides of that, because one thing I will say is that I think the Western world, and please don't misquote
me, guys.
Please. I do feel like in the Western world, let's use something like ADHD, for example. Yeah. Some of us are sufferers of ADHD, but I understand that because we give, like you always say, we give so much language to stuff, it means that, I have ADHD, so, I just can't concentrate. I just can't concentrate. The thing is, yes, I can't concentrate, but what am I doing to help myself in this situation? Because it's one thing saying, I just can't concentrate, but there's people with ADHD that are flipping killing it. Like, so that can't be your excuse. And not that it's a good thing, but I think in Africa, where they say there's no such thing.
Like, come on, you will write paper. What do you mean you're dyslexic?
And they still are.
Yes.
Not to say that people aren't living with trauma, and not to say that, we should ignore these things, but I do sometimes feel like we cannot hold on to these things. Like, they should not be limiting things for us.
I think, that's the key. I don't think they should limit us.
Yeah.
I think we should recognize that,
and embrace
something,
it.
There's something that makes it a little bit harder. There's something like people with dyslexia, like that are dyslexic. There is a challenge here.
Of course.
But then it's like, okay, cool. Well, let's recognize the challenge, but don't let that limit me in my...
Because you can still get an A star.
You can do you can write books.
Yeah.
The very thing that's, you struggle with, you can excel.
That's the God I serve.
Do you know what I mean? So I think there's a level, there's a balance in that, in being able to like recognize your setbacks and your things that stop you from excelling the way other people do, but it should not stop you from excelling at all. And I think that's what this generation does, in a way that we see a setback, we see an issue, rather than like, okay, cool, how can we overcome it? I'm gonna leave that.
Yeah.
And I think so when it comes to marriage, when it comes to careers, when it comes to, we don't have staying power. And that's not to say also, but then I guess there's a balance, because I know some people be like, so where is the
when do you leave?
When do you? But I think there's a lot of things to consider before you then make a decision. Let's not be silly here, but at the same time, some of you, the things to consider is your excuse, and that's where we're gonna end that.
Do you see me drop the mic?
As I said, can we talk? Some of you, that's where exactly your reason is your damn excuses. But drop the mic. And we've come to the end of the episode. Should we try that again? Although we've come to the end of the episode. I've been Lizzie.
I've been Tommy.
And that wraps us on episode 4 of Can We
Talk?
Can We Talk?
For a minute. Girl, I hurt my finger.
Good for you.